What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the In My Tesla podcast. So there's this bakery, this gluten-free vegan bakery in Long Island. It was called the Savory Fig. And apparently they got caught on some TikTok drama shit. So this person, the person that exposed them, basically said that they're reselling donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. So they're buying Dunkin' Donuts, claiming they made it, and reselling it out to the public, claiming it's vegan, gluten-free, all of these things. It all started out when the guy who exposed them received a donut from them, and the donut had the tiny Dunkin' Donut D's on them. And he was like, why does this look familiar? He was like, this looks like Dunkin' Donuts D's for me. So he hit up the person from Savory. He hit up the owner of Savory Fig, and he was like, hey, just be real with me. Just tell me the truth. I won't expose you. Are you reselling donuts from Dunkin' Donuts? And the lady said, no, we would never do that. And then he was like, well, I'm just concerned because Dunkin' Donuts is not necessarily vegan or gluten-free. And there's a lot of people with allergies. And I see these D's on the donut. Can you just send me a screenshot of or a picture of the confetti that you bought with these D's? And she says, she makes up some random excuse saying, I'm not home right now. I'm not in the bakery. I'll send it to you later. Later on in the day, she says, I'm still not home, but here's what I bought. And she sends him a screenshot on Amazon of the sprinkles that she bought. So the guy was like, okay, we gonna see. He buys the sprinkles on Amazon. The sprinkles aren't even vegan. The sprinkles that she sent him are not even vegan. So he buys these not vegan sprinkles, and they look totally different. The letters are bigger than the actual size of the letters on the donut. And now, to top this story off, the guy decides to test. I think it's a lady, the person that exposed him decides to test the donut to see if it's gluten-free or not. Comes out that the donut is not gluten-free. So now he decides to expose her. And the whole Long Island gluten-free vegan community is in shambles right now because of what this lady just did. What do you think about this mess? Because I just heard you in tears in what is it? I just heard you rolling over there. So what's going through your mind as you're hearing this?
What's going through my mind is that humans are fucking hilarious. And it's fucked up because she's like, that's one thing you shouldn't do to people. Yes. Is like fuck with their food allergies. Like yes. When people are buying food, like they have very specific things that they like, of course. But when you're talking about an allergy, you're talking about a different ball game. You can't fuck with people's allergies. So when you're in the business of making food that is specific to somebody's dietary needs for survival, that's fucked up. But I was laughing because humans are fucking interesting. The fact that she, like, it's just the principle of going to Dunkin' Donuts, buying a Dunkin' Donut with all the D's on the fucking donut. Mm-hmm. And like trying to pass that off as your donut. Like that shit is crazy to me.
The donut wasn't even properly shaped. You know how sometimes like Dunkin' Donuts they be like a little funky. They be like what's the word? They're not circular. They're like ovally.
But that's probably what she was using as like a disguise to be. You see, it's homemade.
No, because there's better homemade donuts that come out in better shape.
So I have a question. Mm-hmm. Was she at one point selling legitimate donuts, or what? Or all the donuts have been revealed that she's been selling Dunkin' Donuts
she
donuts?
Probably was at some point in the beginning when she first started making donuts, selling like her own donuts. When I did the research and I went online, all the accounts are deleted. There's no Instagram account, there's no like Yelp, there's no Google, no type of account.
Her business
for
is done. Figs. Like that shit is over.
But I did see a page on Facebook that said Savory Figs, and it had like the menu, and it said Long Island, New York, and it said something about a pistachio donut. So I'm guessing that's how she got started. But then I don't know what happened. Maybe she got.
Could have been from anywhere.
made. I don't know. It looked custom made. I'm not gonna lie. It looked way better than Dunkin' would ever make their donuts. But I don't know. I don't know what happened in the process. But apparently, it also like came out when they started looking more into her stuff that the donuts that she would sell
are all Dunkin' Donuts flavors.
Or like from the pictures that they got, they're all Dunkin' Donuts flavors. So she had like a heart-shaped she had a heart-shaped donut with like chocolate frosting on top of it. It looks just like the Boston cream heart-shaped donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm not gonna lie, we need to do that as a challenge one of these days.
What?
I want you to, because I feel like I know Dunkin' Donuts really well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'd be able to tell if I ate a Dunkin' Donuts donut.
Really?
Of course, blindfolded. I feel like I can guess that shit.
You can taste the gluten in there.
Maybe that's what I'm tasting, but like I feel like I've eaten so many Dunkin' Donuts donuts over the years that I could tell what a Dunkin' Donuts donut. Yeah,
we're gonna try it out.
But I mean, yeah, that's a little. That's real fucked up that she did that.
Why do you think she did it? Like, do you
cutting fucking corners like most people nowadays do? Just cutting corners. Like that's all I hear. I hear somebody came up with a really good business idea. Maybe I don't know her. I don't know her character.
Right.
Maybe it started off legitimate, and then maybe she walked into Dunkin' Donuts one day and was trying to get their recipe, but trying to figure out how to make it not gluten free, and then looked at it and was like, hold up. Dunkin' Donuts sells their donuts for like, let's say, $1.50 or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm on this website selling mine for
$5.
Yeah, $5 or $3 a donut because it's homemade.
Right.
And
Gluten-free,
I'm generating
vegan.
XYZ in sales and revenue and profit because I'm doing this, but it also takes up this amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what takes up way less time?
What?
Going down the street to Dunkin' Donuts and buying a box of 12. Right? Because think about it. If
she was definitely not buying a box of 12. She was probably buying a box
like
of like
50 or
60.
100.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So who knows? Maybe, that would be my guess, is that she did the math. It probably started off legitimate. I would like to think that it did. And then
it's the benefit of the doubt.
And then, yeah, giving her the benefit of the doubt. And then she did the math and realized, holy shit, the amount of time that it's taken me to make 50 donuts is, let's say, 10 hours, 8 hours, whatever.
Right.
But I can go down the block and make actually a little bit more profit because of the time and the frequency
and
that I can
ingredients,
pump these out and the ingredients and all that. So, but when I hear that, I just think people cutting corners. But what I don't mind businesses cutting corners as long as it doesn't fuck with your customer
experience.
Fuck the experience, because they cut corners that fuck with our experience all the time.
That's true.
I'm talking more about don't put your customer in danger. And I think
that's
when
what
you
she
showed
did.
me that story, the part of the story that rubbed me the most the wrong way is not the action of what she did. It's the fact of the dude that hit her up asked and said, yo, I won't expose you. Now, you can't take people at their word. He probably was still going to expose her, right? But
he or she, I don't know if it was a guy or a woman.
He said, I won't expose you.
Right.
But I have people here that have an allergy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put them out because of said allergy. Meaning, somebody could die. Like, that sounds extreme, but who knows? It could be an 80-year-old person with this allergy, and something could go wrong. Yep. I don't want to put this out. And the fact that you sent back a message and lied. You was willing to put somebody's life at risk.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. And that shows the dark side of where we're at in humanity when it comes to things. And I don't think that's new. I think people have been doing that since the dawn of time. But when you get exposed for something like that, I think that's the type of crime, because I'm going to call it a crime.
Yeah.
I believe in my heart of hearts that's the type of crime
where
if you're convicted of lying and they see that, you were selling Dunkin' Donuts, that you should be barred from owning another food industry business
ever again. I think that's actually fair. But you see, that's the thing, right? And we live in such a country as America where we have things like Red 40 in our candy and in our food that it's sort of like I'm playing devil's avocado here, right? But it's like, what makes this lady different than all of these other companies that put on these poisonous ass, weird ass ingredients on our food?
They didn't lie to you. That's the difference. When we walk into 7-Eleven and we buy a pack of Sour Patches and it has the ingredient Red 40 in it, you can have the knowledge for yourself about the ingredients.
Yeah.
And the ingredients are listed on the bag.
That's true.
So they're at least being honest as to what's in it. But the difference, what she did, is somebody asked her, is there gluten? You said that there wasn't. Mm-hmm. So if Sour Patch came out with a new flavor and they said, no Red 40, and then it finds out that it has Red 40 in it,
no, they're wrong for that, right?
If that's essentially what she did.
That
she
is what she did. That's
something that was for a very specific demo. Mm-hmm. If that was the case, that's real sleazy.
Yeah.
If that's the case, don't even say that it was for that demo. You preyed upon a specific demo that had limited options, and you gave them one of the plethora of options that they're trying to avoid. That is fucking crazy. That's not crazy. The more we talk about it, the more crazy that sounds.
You want to be honest? You want to know what I think?
What?
I think that she came up with a really great idea. I think something like a pistachio donut, gluten-free, vegan was a great idea. And I think she hit it off, had much success with it. And I think that either ingredients, no. Look, gluten-free food don't taste the best. Let me tell you that. But
that's what I just said. Maybe go ahead.
No, but because I have a point about that. It wouldn't taste bad to people who eat gluten-free food, towards who it's aimed for. So, like, to us, like, who are not necessarily gluten-free, diet restricted, like, yeah, to us it would taste like ass. But to them, to gluten-free eating people, they'd be like, it's pretty good. What was
the thing you were gonna say? But yes,
so what I was saying was, I think that she started cutting corners because ingredients got expensive, or she probably just couldn't come up with any more ideas.
And that's where the Dunkin'
Donuts
came in.
the Dunkin' Donuts.
So here's what I'm thinking. I remember Mr. Beast said something. He was talking about his chocolate that he made, Feastables.
Yes.
And he said that the one thing that he realized is, even though he's trying to make chocolate that is healthier for you but tastes really good, or just as good, or if not better than what you're used to eating, people will always go for taste.
Yes.
People will always go for taste over something being more healthy for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been proven that humans don't give a fuck. Well, they care. They care on the back end, but what they'll actually do with their actions and what they'll actually throw their money at are things that taste to the level of what they find enjoyable. And I find that so true. It's so hard now that I learned about all those, like, yellow 6, red 40, all those bad ingredients that cause all these, like, mental brain fogs and things like that.
Yeah.
I know that those cause those things.
Yeah.
But those candies I've been eating for years. And it took me until the age of 27 to finally, like, really get serious about my health, to the point where I'm willing to not even care about the taste.
Yeah, or eat those anymore.
And stopped eating them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all of my favorite candies and snacks as kids.
But that just goes towards even more goes towards the point of the owner of Savory Figs is really messed up for selling these Dunkin' Donuts, because of the fact that, okay, look, there's people who will choose taste over a food item being healthy, but now you have people who have no option but to care about what the ingredients are, because
it's for those people that don't have an option. Yeah,
like, and think about it. Those are the main customers that you're going to get when it comes to a store like Savory Figs, who makes gluten-free vegan donuts. You're gonna get someone who cannot eat gluten, who cannot physically can't afford to eat or drink anything with dairy.
You know what's funny? A lot of restaurants do that shit too, and that's why I'm not a fan of people that work in the fast food. I don't want to say fast food because then people think like McDonald's and shit. I'm talking about like regular, like your local poke spot or things like that. Okay. I'm not a fan of teenagers manning things that we don't deem as that important, but are actually very important and very vital. A teenager manning a roller coaster, no. A teenager manning the food at Chipotle, no. You know why? I'm putting this into my body.
Yes.
I could die if you do it wrong, or I can get really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Knock on wood.
Not
So the fact that you got somebody that's back there getting paid minimum wage with a half-ass attitude, that's the same reason I view that the same. Think about how many times I've ordered food and I specifically say, take out the tomatoes. When I was younger, I found out I was allergic to tomatoes. For a little bit, I was allergic to tomatoes.
Yeah.
Almonds, I'm allergic to almonds.
Yep.
Soy, I'm allergic to soy.
Mm-hmm.
And now I order something and I say, don't put any almonds in there. And I get halfway through my, what is it called, acai bowl, and I'm biting into almonds. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's an allergy. I specifically said.
Right.
It's an allergy. That should be a note of importance for you.
But
because you are half-assing your job because it's minimum wage, and I blame that on the corporations for not caring about that,
right,
and thinking like, hey, maybe I should pay these teenagers and set systems in place to where they will emphasize these things.
Yes.
So I find shit like that, like, that shit like that gets under my skin.
Yeah.
Because I've personally experienced that. And I'm like, yo, did you just not care?
But, you can actually... So this is what ended up happening with the lady and the person who exposed them. The person who exposed them ended up calling the Food and Health Safety Department of Long Island on the lady. And they're now conducting an investigation on the lady to find out if whether or not she's really selling these donuts and what she's really doing. That's my guess why she closed her business. But the problem is, you see, we don't call these places enough on these restaurants and these things that fail to do that, right? And essentially, that person who exposed them took the right step, right? And we have to kind of keep in mind. So if I had known, okay, at that time, that you did end up getting an almond on your acai
I didn't get
bowl.
one almond.
Right. No, I don't mean an almond. I just got almonds in your acai bowl.
I had a plethora of almonds.
That you got a plethora of almonds in your acai bowl.
Multiple times. It didn't happen once. It was like every time I ordered.
Inspector, right? You do things like that because that's what keeps it in check. That's what keeps these companies in check. If you see someone put their foot on your fries, you're going to say something, right? It's the same thing.
Oh, hell no. I'm calling the health department in this.
Yes. Yeah. And that's essentially, I think that just, again, maybe this is just me and like overanalyzing, but I think, again, this just leads to a bigger societal problem of we see something, we don't say it, we don't say anything about it.
It's funny, when me and you was in Universal Studios, I think we were eating at Planet Hollywood, and I ordered a burger and I said, no tomatoes, I'm allergic or whatever. And then she was like, "Oh, you're allergic to tomatoes?"
Nah, yeah, she stood out so fast.
Fucking deal. Like she had to go.
The waiter,
and the waiter had to go tell the chef, and then it had to be a thing, and then they brought it out, and then they had to quality check the shit, and I had to really make sure there was no tomatoes on. I'm like, damn, like I'm a little allergic. I ain't that allergic to where you had to. Like I'm allergic to the point where I used to be. I'm not as allergic to these things as I was when I was younger, growing out of the allergies, but. When I was like if they had made a mistake and put the tomatoes there, I would have just taken it off. Like, but the fact that they cared that much, I'm like, nah, that was the first day that I really locked in my mind. Like, yeah, it's really, you're dealing with something that's serious. There's people that are gravely allergic to these things.
Yes, there's
and
people
then now
that
they
could
specifically
die.
look you in the eye and tell you, yo, I'm
do
allergic.
this.
Don't do this. And then you go back there and you do it anyways because you're just being lazy. That's a little fucked up.
No, or some people just think you're being
in the
picky.
eye and go, hey, just make sure you give me the gluten-free donut because I'm really allergic, or your whole business is about that. Like, hey, we stand behind non-allergy. That's like creating a soy milk company that says it tastes like regular milk, but it's soy milk, and then just serving the people milk. Fucked up.
But that's also like McDonald's probably has stories like this, but I've heard Starbucks have more stories like this. Starbucks, apparently the baristas at Starbucks would sometimes, people would be like, oh, or Dunkin, they would be like, yo, like I can't drink regular milk, like I don't want regular milk, just put like oat milk or coconut milk, and they wouldn't put it, they'd put regular milk.
I feel like instances like that though are a little bit more accidental. Because there's so much going on, and they're so used to pouring certain things in whatever. But they should have a system in place. where
it goes through either a special person or a special thing, or the person who took the order goes and makes it. I don't know.
Yes, like
something
there's a special step that I would put in place. Like if somebody specifies an allergy to you, you then have to be the one to go make it, not pass the order along, despite the fact that there might be a line because it's a specialized thing and there's an allergy involved that was specified to you. We have to use more caution. Like something like that.
I think overall companies just need to put in more precautions in place. Right? And I think we as people should speak up more and not just be like, oh, well, it was a problem. It happened.
No, it didn't happen. This shit will never happen again.
Exactly.
I'm getting the health inspector.
On some Ratatouille shit.
On some SpongeBob shit.
Nah, some Ratatouille shit. Cause that's how Gusteau's restaurant ended up getting closed.
Do you have anything else about the donut lady?
Donut lady. I hope you learn from your mistakes.
Facts. Learn from your mistake. Don't do that shit again.
Ever.
If you're ever able to open up another restaurant
or anything.
And let's just say, because it's alleged, you're innocent until proven guilty. If that is true, don't do that shit again.
I mean, she was kind of proven guilty when the donut tested positive for gluten, but we're gonna leave that.
When the donut tested positive for Dunkin' Donuts flavor,
not for gluten.
I want a Dunkin' Donut right now. Then.
All right, we're going to bed now.